In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make granny squares. Even a child can learn how to do a granny square. And I'm going to show you the basic pattern first. Now to get started, we need obviously a crochet hook. I am using baby yarn, so I'm using a number E4. Okay, I take the end and I put it around my thumb like this. So here's my little tail. And make sure that this is kind of crossed over. I put my crochet hook in. I take my tail and wrap it between the crochet hook and my thumb, a little bit like knitting. And then I cast off that loop and pull tight. And that's my first loop on my crochet hook. I'm going to chain 4. So I grab it, pull it through once, grab it, pull it through twice, grab it, pull it through 3 times, grab it, pull it through 4 times. I have a chain of 4. Now I'm going to take my crochet hook and slip it into the first chain on my chain and hook and pull it through those 2. So what I've just made is a little loop, which it's going to look like a hole when I'm finished with it. Now, this is going to be the center of a basic granny square. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. And then I loop it, go inside the center and pull it up. And now I have 3 loops. Let me move this out of the way so you can have a better contrast. So now I have 3 stitches. I hook it and I pull it through the first 2. Oops, don't split the thread. And then, oops, gotta be careful not to split the threads. And then hook it and pull it through the second. That is 1 double crochet. I'm gonna do that again. Hook, go through the center, pull up a loop. Now I have 3 loops on my crochet hook. Hook, pull it through the first 2, hook, pull it through the second 2, and that's a double crochet. The first 2 chains I made is going to count as 1 double crochet. And then I did 2, 3, so that's 3 double crochets. Since I've done 3 double crochets, now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. That's going to create a space. And now loop it. I'm going to go back into my center and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to pull up a loop, hook, go through the first 2, hook, go through the last 2. That's a double crochet. I'm going to do 3 double crochets. One. That's the second double crochet. And this is the third double crochet. Okay, after I have done 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, after my space, right here's my space, I'm going to make another space. Chain 2, 1, 2. And then I'm going to do again 3 double crochets. Let me repeat the process again. Hook, go through the center, pull up a loop. Now I have 3. Hook, pull it through the first 2, hook, pull it through the second 2. Okay, that's the first double crochet of this group. So now I do it again. Hook, go through the center, pull up a loop. I have 3, so hook, go through the first 2, hook, go through the second 2. That's 2 double crochets. Okay, loop again. Into the center, pull up a loop. I have 3, hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the second. That's 3 double crochets. So you have 3 double crochets, space, 3 double crochets, space, 3 double crochets. Now I need a space. 1, 2, chain 2. I have to do this one more time. Into the center. There's 1 double crochet. And here is 2 double crochets. And here's my third double crochet. So when I'm finished, I have 4 sets of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need a space. I need to join this to that where I started. First I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to pull right into the top of the chain 2 that I made, and just do a slip stitch where you hook it and you bring it right through that loop. So that is round 1, which is the center of a basic granny square. Now you could continue on with the same color, but for teaching sake I think it'd be better if I change colors. And I'm going to cut my yarn, pull that loop all the way through, and I like to grab that thread because it's on the top. I like to just insert my hook somewhere nearby, grab that and pull it towards the back, because I like all my strings on the back side of my square. Now this is a tiny little square right now. This is the first round of the granny square. See, it's got a hole on each corner. That's where we did the 2 crochets. Now we're going to do a different color, and to start it off I'm going to select one of my little holes and stick my crochet hook through, grab my string, pull up a loop. Alright, and then I'm going to chain 1, chain 2. I am in the corner. This chain 2 is going to count as my first double crochet. I'm going to do 3 double crochets and create a space. So hook through that hole, pull up a loop, go through the first 2, go through the second 2. That's 1. Well, that's actually 2 because I'm counting the first 2 chains as a... Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3 double crochets, so I'm going to chain 2. That creates space. Now this is going to be your corner. I have to do a 3 double crochets on this side and 3 double crochets on that side. So I'm going to do the same thing right in the same hole. So we do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets. Okay, see how we've got a corner here on our second row, and right here we'll just chain 1 to make a space because that's going to be in the middle, and then I'm going to go into the next corner. See the corner? I'm going to go to the next corner, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets in that hole. 1, 2, 3. Now I do chain 2, 1, 2 from my outside corner. Then I'm going to do 3 more in the same hole. 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and that finishes that corner. In the middle I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to go to the next corner. We're going to do 2 sets of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and a space. Put 2 chains on the corner space and do it again. The same hole. 1, 2, 3, and in the middle, alright, we do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and chain 2 for the space, and again do 3. 1, 2, and 3. So this completes this corner. One single space, and then I need to join this side with that, so I just slip it into the top of the chain 2, pull it up, and then pull it right through this loop. And I'm going to change color again. Usually that's how granny squares are done. You change the color with every row, but you could keep on. So you see, there are 4 in the middle. There are 2 on each corner. Okay? Let me just pull my thread to the back, because I don't like it hanging out on the front. So I pull it down through. For the third color, stick it. I'm going to start in the middle this time. Pull up a loop and chain 2. If that should get loose, just grab a hold of your thread on the back and pull it so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, now I'm going to do in the same place. There's 1, 2, and with a space on the sides, 1 single space. Now we're to the corner. So with this, we do it the same way as we did these. We're going to do 2 sets of 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 2 on the corner space, and then go back into the same, because it's in a corner, because we did this side. Now we got to do that side. 1, 2, 3. In the middle here, single, and then, that was a single chain, and then we do 3 double crochets in the same hole. 1, 2, 3, and we're still on the side, so we do 1 single chain, and then we go into this corner. Double crochet once, double crochet twice, double crochet 3 times. Now I'm at the corner. I need 2 chains for that space, and then we go back into the same corner. We have to do it twice on the corners. 1, 2, 3. See, the corner gets bigger and bigger. See, it started with 1, this side's got 2, now this side's got 3. Just looking from the side. Okay, we're on the side, so 1 single chain. Then we go into the middle with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now you can decide how big or small you want your granny squares to be. This is the very basic design. I have a collection of all kinds of granny square patterns on a board, my Needleworks board on Pinterest. So if you look up my name, you can follow me, or you can follow specifically in the Needleworks section. I have a section called Granny Squares, and there's so many patterns that I have collected. I am amazed at how many different designs people can create with granny squares. And so I was looking at all that, and I was very much inspired. And I don't even know how to do all of them, but I want to start learning some different designs. So I thought with this blanket that I'm making that I would do at least 2 designs in it, because every time I do a blanket I always have to learn something new, and that's what I like to do. I like to always learn something new. I don't stick with the same pattern all the time because I like variety, and I don't want to get bored doing the same thing every time. So I always look for new things to learn with crocheting or whatever it is I'm doing. Okay, I'm at the corner. I'm doing working on that second set of 3 double crochets. I made it all the way around the square now. Now 1 single chain, and then I need to slip stitch, where you stick your needle in, pull up a loop, and pull that loop right through. And I'm going to change my color again. So I cut, pull it up. It doesn't come unraveled when you pull it up, but I like to pull my threads to the back. Okay, so you can see how the pattern goes. You could do a quilt, a blanket with just little squares, just like this, 1, 2, 3 colors. Or you can go bigger. You can actually make a whole blanket. You just keep going. But I don't mind composing a baby blanket with lots of colors. I might even actually do one with more earth tone colors just for my living room, just to have a throw blanket. Sometimes what I do at the back is I'll take my threads, the 2 loose ends of the same color, and I'll pull them together and I'll make like a knot, just for extra security, to make sure that they are secure. They're not going to come undone. If you pull a string, it's not going to come undone. But okay, this time I will use pink. You can decide, it doesn't matter where you start. I think it's better to start on the side rather than a corner. So I'm going to insert my needle into one of the holes, pull up a loop of my color, and we started off just like we did all the others. Whoops, I pulled it too much. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I like to kind of hold that thread on the back so it doesn't pull out too much. Okay, now we do, whoops, and it is pulling out too much. Okay, we'll do a double crochet and a second double crochet. Remember that the first 2 chain stitches, these 2 chain stitches counts as the first double crochet, and then you do 2 more. And I did 1 single chain. Now I go to the corner. We do 1, 2, 3, and then we do on the corners, do 2 chains, and then go back into the same corner to start going around the other side. This is obviously based on a square. You know, it's a good math lesson for kids. The multiplication factor. 1 becomes 2. 1, 2, 3. So guess how many the next one's going to have? It's going to have 4 sets. So it's good for counting. Be an excellent project to teach a young girl how to do, because she could make a bunch of squares, and after she gets a collection, then she can put it together and actually make a gift for somebody. Okay, I gotta pause for a second. I got a slight bit of a knot. Well, I had trouble with my battery, so I just went ahead and finished this all the way around. As I was saying, this is a really good project for a young girl to learn how to do. You can actually apply some math. This is obviously based on a square, and so each side is equal, and you could teach math with a granny square. 1 times 4 equals 4. There are 4 parts. Row 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. This is row 1, row 2, row 3. 3 times 4, there's 4 sides, equals 12. You can count them, and that's 12. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. 4 times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, equals 16. and then it goes 20 and 24. I mean, you can teach multiplication tables. You could teach at least the fours, because this is based on the square. And so that's another way you know you're doing it right, when this row has 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next is going to be 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. So there's a math lesson in that so it's a good one to teach young girls. I don't know if guys like to crochet. I guess there are some who do, but it's usually a feminine thing. Okay, so you can make these any size you want. I've only done 4 rows. You could do them bigger. You can do them as big as you want. I think the smaller they are, the cuter. And you could do a whole bunch in different colors, or stick to a particular color theme. I thought it might be useful to make a video for those who would like to learn how to crochet. I'm going to teach you how to do 3 different types of squares, the basic granny square, and then this design right here. I'm going to show you how to make that type of a square, and then I'm going to show you how to make this type of a square that has a flower in the middle of it.